Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed.
Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. The government is set to temporarily divert all international flights bound for Mactan Cebu International Airport to Ninoy Aquino International Airport starting tomorrow, Saturday. Tapping the Manila Airport as the alternative hub for Cebu-bound flights from May 29 to June 5, 2021 is part of the government efforts to curb the spread of the coronavirus in the country. The latest decision was reached by the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Malacanang has issued a memorandum directing concerned government agencies to implement the week-long diversion of international flights from Cebu Airport to NAIA. The Department of Transportation, through its attached agencies, and the Manila International Airport Authority have also been directed to ensure the smooth diversion of inbound flights. In the same memo, the palace directed government agencies to enforce the testing and quarantine protocols for international travelers arriving in the country. The implementation of these protocols will be implemented in all ports of entry, regardless of any specific protocols that may be issued by the local government units to the contrary. The palace also tasked the heads of departments to ensure their offices will abide by the latest directive. The Department of Interior and Local Government has been directed as well to enforce compliance with respect to local government units. The Department of Health warned the public against self-swabbing for COVID-19 testing. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III made the statement when asked about his reaction to a video posted by actor Robin Padilla, where the latter performed a COVID-19 nasal swab. There are certain protocols that must be followed when doing a nasal swab, according to Duque. The health chief also said that the result would be questionable because it is not in accordance with the DOH guidelines. Padilla said that he did self-swabbing because a nurse was not yet around at that time.
Special vaccination lanes must be established for the country's health workers, senior citizens, and people with comorbidity based on the latest decision of the government's pandemic task force. Local government units must give vaccine priority to these concerned sectors according to the latest resolution issued by the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. The latest directive was issued as the government prepares to start the vaccination of the country's essential workers, including transport workers, market vendors, and overseas Filipino workers, as well as the poor population. The government has administered more than 4 million doses of coronavirus vaccines, including over 1 million people fully vaccinated since the free inoculation started last March. Priority has been given to health workers, seniors, and people with pre-existing health conditions. The government aims to inoculate 9.7 million people in Metro Manila to attain population protection by late November. Earlier, it announced plans to vaccinate 58 million adult Filipinos to reach herd immunity before the end of the year.
There may be 1 to 3 tropical cyclones that will likely enter the Philippine area of responsibility next month, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration. Weather specialist Ariel Rojas said they are looking at 2 possible scenarios based on the climatological tracks of the past cyclones for the month of June from 1948 to 2017. The first scenario is that the cyclones will likely make landfall and cross country's landmass towards the West Philippine Sea. The second possible scenario is that it will not make landfall and will only move over the Philippine Sea before recurving away from the country. Once the cyclones enter the Philippine area of responsibility, Rojas said that they will be given local names: Dante, Emong, and Fabian. Here is a roundup of news in and around Metro Manila. Let's watch this report.
Pasay City Mayor Emmy Calixto Robiano on Thursday said that the city government is open to any investigation on the reported inoculation of some Chinese nationals under the city's COVID-19 vaccination program. Robiano said that the Department of Health will conduct a probe on the reports. She said the city government vaccinates any person as long as he or she is a bona fide resident of the city and falls under the prioritization category given by the DOH. The mayor reiterates that the Back to the Future vaccination program of the city government is free to all city residents. San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora said that he is in favor of the gradual reopening of the economy as the number of daily COVID-19 cases in the city continues to decline. According to Zamora, as long as the cases do not rise and the situation is now stabilized, but for him, if ever the status will change, it should be very gradual. It should be just within the allowable businesses and industries and possibly just increasing the capacity. He said that the Metro Manila Council is set to meet in the following days regarding the next quarantine status of Metro Manila for the month of June. The Quezon City government launched Thursday its Green, Open, Renewable Access or GORA lane. It is a 5.39-kilometer redeveloped pedestrian corridor in the city. The GORA lane is a way to encourage residents to walk on a safe and accessible roads. It passes through Doña Hemadi Avenue, Scout Tobias Street, and Mother Ignacia Avenue, providing residents with access to three major roads: Aurora Boulevard, Quezon Avenue, and EDSA. The GORA lane also includes wider sidewalks, pocket parks with better lighting, signages, planting strips, and public art installation. The development also aims to boost economic activity through connecting commercial areas and shopping malls.
And now, let's take a look at the latest news in other parts of the country. Here are the details.
Pampanga San Luis Town Mayor Jason Sagum, a doctor by profession, is raffling off cows starting July in a bid to boost the town's COVID-19 vaccination program. According to Sagum, many residents are undecided about the vaccine because of negative reports and its adverse side effects. This is the reason why Sagum has come up with a raffle and to further convince more people, particularly senior citizens with comorbidities, to get the vaccine and be protected. The raffle, which will be held every end of the month, will last until June 2022. Isabela City in Basilan was placed under General Community Quarantine or GCQ status from May 28 to June 10 following a surge of COVID-19 cases in the city. In a meeting of the Isabela COVID Task Force on May 27, the City Disaster Risk Reduction Management confirmed the sudden rise in COVID cases for the first quarter of this year. The local government has imposed curfew hours from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. to limit the movement of residents. The change in Isabela City's quarantine status was based on Resolution No. 19 dated May 19, 2021 passed by the Regional Interagency Quarantine Task Force. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources in Region 9 has turned over the protection, administration, and conservation of marine turtles in Tawi-Tawi to the Zamora Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARMM. Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources and Energy Forest Management Services Director Abdul Jalil Umngan said that they are now mandated to formulate policies, guidelines, and implement programs, activities, and projects for the protection and preservation of biological diversity and the endangered flora and fauna in the Bangsamoro region. The Turtle Islands Wildlife Sanctuary is the 11th major marine turtle nesting area in the world. It is recognized as the primary nesting for two endangered marine turtles, the green sea turtle and the hawksbill sea turtle.
And here are the updates from around the world. Here is that report.
Outside an old blue and white school in northeastern Spain, dozens of farm workers wait their turn to be vaccinated against the coronavirus by a team of nurses. Spain, a key provider of fresh fruits and vegetables to the rest of Europe, is racing to immunize the army of cheap labor that follows the ripening of different crops across the country as the harvest season nears. The aim is to avoid a repeat of the outbreaks of COVID-19 among farm workers in northeastern regions of Catalonia and Aragon last last year that fueled a spike in infections leading to localized lockdowns. Hindu priests at an Indian temple are saying daily prayers to two coronavirus goddesses in an effort to tame the pandemic as the country battles a new infection surge. Two Corona Devi idols have been set up in southern city of Coimbatore, badly hit in an outbreak that has killed 100,000 people nationwide in the past 4 weeks. The Kamatchipuri Adinhanim temple is closed to worshippers because of the city's high infection rates, but priests are praying tribute in front of the goddesses, one made of sandalwood and the other from stone. The priests plan to continue their prayers to the Corona Devi idols for another 7 weeks. A bar in Croatian capital Zagreb serves cocktails inspired by COVID-19 vaccines, whose ingredients are related to drinks typical from country where they originate. Customers can order a Pfizer, a Moderna, an AstraZeneca, or Sputnik V drink. Owner Tomislav Perko jokes that so far these cocktails have not provoked any serious side effects, apart from a possible hangover or difficulty walking home. But he warns cocktails are strong and they don't recommend more than 2 doses per person.
And now the latest in showbiz. Let's watch this.
Several drag queens with Pinoy blood are among those strutting their stuff on the hit show RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, now on its 6th season. According to reports, Jiggly Caliente is set to make a grand return to the show after making a huge mark in the 4th season of the reality competition. Other Filipinos set to return on the popular show are Ongina, who made heads turn on Season 5, and Manila Luzon, who made a huge splash in Seasons 1 and 4. Produced by World of Wonder for Logo TV and VH1 in the US, the show documents RuPaul inviting past queens that have had the most success following their appearance on the show. The Season 6 winner wins $100,000, a 1-year supply of Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmetics, and the chance to compete for a spot in the Drag Race Hall of Fame.
Here are the latest from Manila Bulletin's sports section. Let's watch this.
The city of Manila played host as they set up an inoculation site to cater to all Filipino athletes that are set to represent the country abroad, specifically the Tokyo Olympics. The vaccination started at 9 a.m. at the Manila Prince Hotel located in Ermita on Friday, May 28, and will stay open until 5 p.m. The Manila City government is targeting to vaccinate up to 730 Filipino athletes who will participate in the Tokyo Olympics. According to the organizers of the Tokyo Olympics, athletes do not need a vaccine to participate, but they are strongly encouraged to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Other than the Filipino athletes, members of the media and the personnel of the Philippine Olympic Committee will also be inoculated against COVID-19. The Tokyo Olympics is scheduled on July 23 until August 8, 2021.
And those are the news on Web today, May 28, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph, or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again on Monday. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.